When you think of magical schools, Hogwarts always comes first. But across the ocean in the mountains of Massachusetts, there stands another castle, one with its own legacy, houses, and traditions. This is Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Founded in the 17th century, it grew from a simple stone cottage into one of the greatest magical schools in the world. Its story is one of survival, adaptation, and reinvention, shaped by tragedy, resilience, and the unique character of the American wizarding world. Today we're walking through the complete history of Ilvermorny, from its founding by Isolt Sayre to its place in the modern wizarding world. The story of Ilvermorny begins not in America, but in Ireland. Isolt Sayre was born in 1603, a direct descendant of Salazar Slytherin through her mother, Rhiannoch Gaunt. But her life was shaped by tragedy. Her parents were killed and she was raised by her cruel aunt, Gormlaith Gaunt, a pure-blood fanatic determined to keep Slytherin's bloodline intact. Gormlaith's oppressive rule mirrored Salazar's ideology. She despised Muggles and Muggle-borns, and expected Isolt to follow the same path. But Isolt longed for freedom. At 17, she stole her aunt's wand, once belonging to Salazar Slytherin himself, and fled to the New World aboard the Mayflower. When Isolt arrived in Massachusetts, she discovered a land rich in magical creatures and indigenous traditions. She befriended William the Pukwudgie, a magical creature from Native American folklore. Though reluctant at first, William eventually aided Isolt after she saved his life. Together they began protecting magical children in the area who otherwise had no school or community to guide them. Isolt soon met and married James Stewart, a Muggle from England. Their love story would define Ilvermorny's spirit, a union between magical and non-magical worlds. With James and with the orphans they took in, Isolt began to dream of a school, a safe place where magical children could learn, regardless of their bloodline. That dream became Ilvermorny. At first, Ilvermorny was just a small stone cottage on Mount Greylock. Isolt and James's adopted children, Chadwick and Webster Boot, became its first students. The family taught the basics of magic, spells, potion making, defensive charms, but word spread quickly, and more magical children came seeking instruction. What began as a family effort soon grew into a community. Unlike Gormlaith's obsession with blood purity, Isolt's school welcomed everyone, purebloods, half-bloods, and Muggle-borns alike. This inclusivity became one of Ilvermorny's defining traits, setting it apart from many European traditions. Just as Hogwarts had 4 houses, Ilvermorny developed its own, each named after a magical creature from Native American folklore, chosen by the family founders themselves. Horned Serpent, favoured by Isolt, represents the mind and scholars. Its emblem is a great serpent with a jewel in its forehead. Thunderbird, chosen by Chadwick, represents the soul and adventurers. This majestic bird can create storms as it flies. Wampus, selected by Webster, represents the body and warriors. It is a powerful, magical cat. Pukwudgie, named by James Stewart, represents the heart and healers. Despite the joke of naming a house after a grumpy creature like William, it became a beloved symbol. Together, the houses reflected not just the founders' personalities, but the values of Ilvermorny itself: mind, soul, body, and heart. One of the most unique aspects of Ilvermorny was its alliance with the Pukwudgies. These magical creatures, often described as short, grey-skinned and prickly, were at first reluctant to serve humans, but William the Pukwudgie grew attached to Isolt's family. He and his kin agreed to help protect the school, acting as guards and even assisting with chores. Even centuries later, Pukwudgies remained tied to Ilvermorny, patrolling the grounds and serving as a reminder of the school's unusual origins. Unlike Hogwarts, where ghosts haunted the halls, Ilvermorny had living magical guardians. Over time, Ilvermorny expanded. The small cottage grew into a granite castle atop Mount Greylock, enchanted so that muggles saw only a bare peak. By the 1700s, the school had a reputation across North America as a centre of magical learning. It adopted many of Hogwarts' traditions, including sorting ceremonies, though with its own magical twist. Instead of a hat, Ilvermorny's 4 carved statues would react when a student stood before them. Sometimes more than one statue would respond, leaving the choice up to the student, a nod to freedom and individuality. Ilvermorny also developed its own wand-making traditions. The most famous wand-maker was James Stewart himself, though later generations continued the craft, blending European and native practices. While Ilvermorny shared similarities with Hogwarts, its values often stood in sharp contrast. Where Hogwarts carried the legacy of pure-blood debate and house rivalries, Ilvermorny embraced inclusivity. Blood status was never a barrier. Muggleborns was welcomed as equals, and intermarriage with no-mages, America's term for non-magical people, was not stigmatized. Where Hogwarts prized tradition, Ilvermorny adapted. Its houses were based on magical creatures, not personalities. Its guardians were living Pukwudgies, not ghosts, and its sorting allowed choice rather than a definitive assignment. For many, Ilvermorny was seen as less rigid, more modern, a reflection of America's diverse and evolving magical culture. By the 20th century, Ilvermorny had become one of the most respected magical schools in the world, rivaling Hogwarts' Beauxbatons and Durmstrang. Students wore blue and cranberry robes, colours chosen by Isolt in honour of her childhood and her love for Hogwarts. The school's reputation for strong wandwork and defensive magic attracted attention worldwide. Ilvermorny also developed ties with MACUSA, the Magical Congress of the United States of America, shaping policies for magical secrecy and education. Its graduates became auras, healers, teachers, and inventors, carrying American magical traditions across the globe. From a small cottage to a sprawling castle, Ilvermorny's story is one of hope and reinvention. It was born from tragedy, the loss of Isolt parents, the cruelty of Gormlaith Gaunt, but it grew into a symbol of unity. Its houses, Horned Serpent, Thunderbird, Wampus, and Pukwudgie, embody the balance of mind, soul, body, and heart. Its guardians remind us that alliances can be found in unexpected places, and its very founding, by a descendant of Salazar Slytherin who chose love, equality, and inclusivity over prejudice, shows even dark legacies can be rewritten. Ilvermorny may be across the ocean, but its story is forever tied to Hogwarts, to the Gaunt bloodline, and to the wider wizarding world. From its origins in a lonely cottage, To its reputation as one of the greatest magical schools in existence, Ilvermorny stands as America's Hogwarts, a school built on courage, compassion, and resilience. Which Ilvermorny house would you want to be in? Horned Serpent, Thunderbird, Wampus, or Pukwudgie? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Harry Potter University for more magical deep dives. Mischief managed.